Fiancée, 29F. Upset about my 26F proposal days after saying yes. How can we fix things? Edit. I mistyped that I was female in title. I am male, sorry for the mix-up. My fiancé, 29F, and I, 26M, have been together for about 6 years. I recently proposed, and she said yes. She seemed ecstatic at the moment, but just a couple of days later, she told me she was disappointed and hasn't let go of those feelings since. Here's the situation. She had hinted that she wanted a more elaborate proposal, possibly a big surprise with friends, or at least some flowers or decorations. We had talked about it, and she said she'd be fine without the party, so I planned something personal and meaningful during a private moment while we were in a remote location together. But I didn't have any flowers or other preparations, partly because I had no way to prepare anything where we were. In the past, I had tried to plan a bigger proposal. I had everything in mind, but she wound up changing plans at the last minute, which made me feel like trying to plan something elaborate wouldn't work. I thought a more spontaneous, heartfelt proposal was a better route. I genuinely thought what I did was meaningful, but she feels like it wasn't special enough and is now saying it felt selfish and short-sighted. I've tried to make it right by giving her flowers and a heartfelt note after the fact, but that seemed to make things worse. She's been cold and distant ever since. I've tried talking with her seriously, laughing about it, and addressing her feelings, but nothing seems to ease the tension. She's also brought up concerns about my selfishness in general, and I'm struggling with how to address that when I feel like I've been trying to meet her halfway, and haven't heard any complaints about selfishness up until this point. This was supposed to be a happy time, but it's turned into something really painful. I'm considering suggesting couples counseling, but I'm not sure how she'll take it. Has anyone else been in a situation like this? How do I help her feel validated while also processing my own hurt and confusion? I love her and want us to be happy, but I feel like I'm losing her over something that was supposed to be one of the best moments of our relationship. I feel angry that she isn't celebrating this step, but after talking I understand how disappointed she must feel. It seems like I can only blame myself. Any advice or perspective would be greatly appreciated. Edit. Adding to the post, since I guess I left out important information and put it in the comments instead of adding it to the post. I guess that's a faux pas. She had asked to wait until graduation, but I was feeling too eager for the first proposal and thought she wouldn't mind if I made it the big spectacle she asked for. I thought this was a positive thing, but a lot of people have pointed out that what I was really doing was directly ignoring her request. So even if I might have earned points for effort, that's directly cancelled out by the poor timing. This latest proposal was after she graduated, but not enough effort. The original attempt was a walk through a meaningful place, where we would come upon a little romantic area with photos set up of us and a hidden photographer, then a surprise party when we got back home. Very nice idea that she approved of when I eventually told her after she said yes, but I didn't have contingencies for when she cancelled and it was bad timing anyway. The new proposal was on vacation, after what I thought was a nice if long hike in these prehistoric woods to a scenic overlook. The sun came out at the end of it, we had lunch, I set up a selfie video to do it and it felt right to me, but I was wrong. She said she liked that we were alone, but later she disclosed that she didn't like that it wasn't romantic, there wasn't a photographer, and I didn't have flowers or something similar when we got back to the Airbnb. Anyways, I posted this in another comment but I'll put it in op 2, in case people didn't see. Hey everyone, thanks for the input. I appreciate everyone's perspective, especially those coming from me. I can definitely see how she must feel unheard and unappreciated. Twice I disregarded what she had asked for, first in terms of timing, and then in terms of strategy. Now that it's been brought up, I may have subconsciously been upset about the original cancellation, that I genuinely don't blame her for, and it caused me to put less effort into this one. I wish I could smack me from last year and told him just to wait, but alas. I definitely don't think I can make up for this anytime soon. She's still acting extremely sad around me, and I'm not going to try to force it. She's agreed that counseling is a good idea, so we're looking for a couples therapist now. All those saying red flag, run, etc. I hear what you're saying, but I'm not going to abandon ship right away. She's genuinely hurt, and it's my fault for ignoring what she asked for in precise words. I got hyper-focused on proposing on this particular vacation, when I should have planned around a time when I had more control over the situation. I'll hope she can forgive me soon, but we're definitely not getting married if she's unable to forgive me. Please wish us luck navigating this. Thus far our arguments have only made us stronger. I can only hope the same will come of this one. Crossed fingers. This was supposed to be a happy time, but it's turned into something really painful. This is not the way to start a journey to a long and successful marriage. I'm considering suggesting couples counseling, but I'm not sure how she'll take it. You need to start thinking about your partner as a long-term choice, and not necessarily this tiny little moment in time. Everything you're mentioning about here suggests that you are concerned about a problem in your relationship and she does not consider it important enough to fix. So, in 6 years, how have you both fixed problems in your relationship? Does she always do this kind of cold shoulder, pouty, angry thing until you figure out what works to make her happy and she is suddenly happy again? You decided an elaborate proposal was too much work because she cancelled a walk to the forest without knowing that it was a proposal? Also, this first attempt to propose happened before she graduated, even when she told you she wanted to wait? She said that it was the wrong time to do it, she always said she wanted to graduate first but I couldn't wait. Look, I was prepared to be on your side here, but I think you need to take a good long look how you respect or disrespect your partner. Don't listen to these comments. Your fiancée told you how she wanted to be proposed to, specific details. Yet you gave her the exact opposite of what she wanted. She was happy with the ring and being able to marry you, but disappointed in how you ignored what she wanted. For example, if you asked her for a Batman-themed car, but she got you a Spider-Man-themed car, you're still going to be happy she got you a car, but disappointed it isn't Batman. She brought up how you are generally selfish, meaning this isn't the first time you've done something like this. It seems like she needs time and you need to get her something she actually wants. The comments seem bitter, broke, and single. I can understand why she'd feel unheard. She gave you some basic expectations and you went with the no-effort option. You clearly understand that you've hurt her feelings and have tried to talk it through. Now might be time for the difficult question where you ask, is this something you're willing to move past or is this unforgivable to you? How do we move forward and take it from there? I just read in one of Op's responses that his fiancée asked to wait until after she graduated, and he didn't. This has everything to do with the issue here, if true. You guys talked about it and you knew what she wanted, but decided on what you wanted. That's what she feels was selfish. The moment wasn't what she had hoped for. You knew what she liked. Personally, it wouldn't matter much to me. I'd still be happy and celebrating. But to some people, these things are very important and they do matter. There's no way to redo this. You can ask her if there's any way to make it up to her, but IDK. Maybe a surprise engagement party? I feel like my F27 boyfriend, M31, ruined our 2-year anniversary. What are my options? My boyfriend and I just had our 2-year anniversary and we went on a camping trip to celebrate. It was a big elaborate trip, we had to fly to get there. Our trip there goes perfectly, no delays and everything is on time. We get to baggage claim and we go to the wrong baggage claim by mistake. Keep in mind our right baggage claim was 2 ones down, but instead of letting me figure it out and read the signs, he storms out and has me get everything myself. We rent a car and he is still upset about the luggage situation even though we did end up getting everything. He was rushing me throughout every process, which is why I could not find the baggage claim the right time and we were not far from where our luggage actually was. We are not in a rush at all to get to our campsite. It's 10 a.m. at this point, so we have plenty of time to set up camp. Yet he is still mad at me over this. We get to the campsite and set up camp. He is just in a sour mood this whole process, criticizing me non-stop for not professionally being able to set up camping equipment I have never dealt with before. When we booked this trip, I told him I was so happy to reconnect with him as I feel like we needed to get away from our life stressors and focus on just us. As soon as we set up camp, he notices our neighbors are partying, so he immediately goes over and makes nice with them. But it is more than a 15-minute meet and greet. He spends hours over there. I am more introverted and my idea of a good time is not meeting new people, especially on a trip that I envisioned to be about us reconnecting. I am also newly sober, so it is hard for me to be around certain situations, which include socializing with strangers and being around people who are partying. We had plans to go to a concert the first night we were there and he was pretty drunk as he had been day drinking. He had fell asleep and I tried to wake him up but could not get him up until 10 minutes before the concert started. We were late to the concert and I thought he would be done with the drinking, but he drank more through the concert. I made a comment along the lines of maybe just have one more and be done for the night, and he freaked out saying I could just watch the concert alone and that he will do his own thing. To set the scene, we are in the pit of a venue that is in a completely different state with no cell phone service. I don't want to lose him at the concert and be alone. We get back and he is apologetic and says he will not drink that much the rest of the week we are here. Yet the week goes on and he get drunk almost every single day. He spends most of the time with our neighbors at the campsite. There was one point where he told me to not follow him to the neighbor's campsite and I sat there alone, with no cell service for 2 hours while he was at the next door campsite partying. We got back home yesterday and today was our official anniversary and I told him I did not feel like spending the day with him because of his behavior on the trip. I told him I felt very alone on the trip and that we spent zero quality time together. He flipped out and turned it around on me, saying I ruined our anniversary. Now we are on the cusp of breaking up. The ball is in my court. Too long did not read. I refused to spend my actual 2-year anniversary with my boyfriend due to the behavior displayed on our anniversary trip. Now we are in the do we stay and make this work or break up limbo. Along with a host of other issues on your trip, the fact you are newly sober and he didn't have the decency to tone down his drinking is grounds for a breakup. You're young, don't waste any more time of this 31-year-old man-child. Just break up. It sounds like he was a complete jackass who has an alcohol problem. He's 31 years old and still more interested in partying than spending time with you. Ridiculous. Oh hun. He's a selfish and inconsiderate asshole who is going to be extremely abusive towards you in some capacity. He already verbally abused you and abandoned you on something that was meant to connect you guys. Put the energy towards something else, like a cat who will only get grumpy if you're late feeding them. Let him go. I'm 10 years into being married to that guy, and while he's amazing in so many areas and my best friend, I go to bed most nights feeling less than because he can't handle his vices and says mean things. If I didn't have 2 kids, I'd probably be out of here. Why do girls accept terrible behavior from BFS? Your option is to continue being a placemat until he finds the girl he really wants to be with, or break up and expect better than an alcoholic partner who not only expects you to do everything in the relationship but gets mad at you when things don't go his way. He's not into you. He wants a mother and a party buddy. He sounds like an asshole that doesn't care about your happiness and safety. I think you know what you should do. Otherwise you wouldn't be posting on Reddit for support. You deserve better. My F29 husband, M25, says he is going to disappear. What would you do? Hey guys, so this is going to be a hard post for me, but maybe I can get some helpful advice. My husband has been saying for the past few days that he's planning on leaving when the time is right, taking his belongings and changing his number. I've asked him multiple times if he's being serious, and he says he is and swore on God and our child. I feel really lost because I asked, what about our daughter? If you want to leave me, that's okay, but don't you want to see her? And he said that he doesn't want her in his life either. His family is living with us right now, his dad, mom and little sister, and money is pretty tight. I've asked him if he's that serious, can't we just get a divorce, and he said he doesn't want to and would rather just leave us all without the hassle of divorce. I'm really lost here, and I suggested that he speak to his therapist about what he's feeling, but he said they're just gonna encourage him to leave. We do have a very rocky marriage. We basically have no physical affection and things can feel very tense between us. So if he wants a divorce, that's okay. But I'm just worried about our daughter more than anything. If you have any advice, please let me know. Sorry for the formatting, by the way. I'm posting this from my car before I go to work. Let him go if that's what he wants so badly. Go talk to a lawyer about divorce and child support ASAP. Sounds suicidal. You should take his threats seriously and go ask help of a lawyer to start everything without telling anyone to prevent him to leave before you filed for divorce. He told you to your face and even swear on his own child that he will vanish, so prepare your leaving now. Administration, have your own bank account, assurances, and protect yourself and kid from him. Why wait? Begin the divorce process, draft a separation agreement and get custody and support in writing and notarized. Don't let this man play in your face like that while you're hosting his family. Leave with your child. He might be suicidal. My grandfather did this. It turns out he moved about 20 miles away. Life before the internet was crazy. Don't wait or ask him to do it. You file for divorce. If he does run off and disappear, getting a divorce then is much more tedious. Girlfriend, 28F, cheated on me, 31M, and I broke up with her. Do I need to give her closure? My ex-girlfriend had a workmate who likes her. She admitted to me that they spoke on the phone multiple occasions and she felt guilty about it because she knows she shouldn't have entertained it. She also admitted that there was attraction on both sides. She asked me how I felt about it and I asked her how would she feel if the situation was reversed, to which she said she'd feel terrible and she would end the friendship. I was disappointed, but I appreciated her honesty as she didn't have to tell me in the first place. Also, I never told her to cut contact with him. I don't believe in telling your significant other what to do. Rather just let them make their own decisions and I make mine accordingly. Anyway, that's that, and a week later she's acting really strange, creating unnecessary arguments, and in the midst of it she said something to the extent of, "It's crazy how another man is showing more interest in me than you." I noted that red flag and I knew what was coming. I went to her house days later for the usual sleepover at the weekend and the energy is all the way off. She was barely kissing me and seemed very distant. She almost was on the verge of tears. When I kept asking her what was wrong, she would keep saying things like, "Are we okay?" and "Our relationship feels different." The conversation carried on and I asked her how was her day. She then reveals that she went to the beach, the supermarket with the same workmate. She said it so by the way too, like she saw nothing wrong with it. I held my composure and left later that night. On my way home she sent me a barrage of texts denying that she did anything with the guy. Bear in mind I never accused her. She sent even more texts claiming that she blocked him and deleted him and she doesn't like him. I have not even in the slightest but accused her of doing anything, but her reaction told me all I needed to know. I broke up with her the next morning over text. I didn't give her a reason, just ended it. She's been texting me and calling me wanting to know what's the reason I broke up with her. I refused to give her a reason. She asked if we can have sex one more time, to which I agreed. After we had sex she asked me what's the reason for breaking up. I told her I have a lot of stuff going on in my life RN and that was it. Part of me wants to tell her how I really feel. I want to unleash my anger and tell her how much of a whore she is. It's killing me to keep it inside. But another side of me is saying not to address it and don't tell her. I am frustrated and I admit it's rage. I have a lot of emotional control but I'm unsure of what to do here. If anyone has been in this position I would really appreciate any response. I'm 31M and I've always knew that relationships had an inevitable end and I never could swear 100% for anyone, but I still feel hurt and betrayed. Deep down I guess I never thought she would do it to me. I was wrong. Any response is greatly appreciated. Thank you. Folded hands, medium skin tone. Closure is something you need to give yourself. Say nothing. Your silence will be more powerful than any name you might call her. And absolutely don't have sex with the girl who gargled on another guy's dick right before. You don't owe her a fucking thing, and having sex one last time was fucking stupid. She knows why you broke up with her. She just thinks she can talk you out of it. Twice she tested your resolve. Basically dared you to break up with her. Now she doesn't know why. Sleep with her boyfriend. Assert your dominance, bro. Why did you agree to the final hookup?